Hello guys, my name is Patrick and welcome to Ask Me Anything, which is a weekly series here on my channel where anyone can send me in via the comment section or private message or questions, whether it's about a game or real life, and I will always answer them. First, let me start off by saying Happy New Year. It's officially 2016, the start of a brand new year, a brand new start. Hopefully this year will be amazing, just like last year was for me. I actually pulled an all-nighter this new year. It was my first all-nighter I've ever pulled, which may not sound like much to you, but for me it's a pretty big deal considering I don't stay up late that often. It was pretty hard, to be honest. Most of the time, I was actually kind of energetic, but then about 3 o'clock, I started getting bored of playing video games, so I went down into my room, which was not a good idea. If you ever plan to pull all-nighter, don't go into your room. It'll just make you even more sleepy than you are usually. And I made the mistake of doing that. I almost fell asleep, but I was able to snap myself awake a few times, and I was able to pull off the all-nighter, which I'm probably never going to do again. I just wanted to do it once just to say I've done it, and now there's no really point of me doing it again on purpose. I might do it when I'm in college if I need to study or something. But yeah, I don't want to do it again. Future New Year's, I'm going to just stay up till midnight, then go to bed, because there's no point in staying really up all night except to have bragging rights to say that you did it once. So I recommend that you do it once in your life because it was kind of fun, but I recommend after you do it once, just don't ever do it again. So it's almost the end of winter break for me, and that means school is about to start, and that means finals is also going to be in a couple weeks. And I apologize for not posting much over the winter break, but just the holiday season has been super crammed for me because new video games have been coming out, which I've been able to get with Christmas money and things like that, and I've been playing too much of them, getting too many clips, but luckily I do have a bunch of clips for them, and so I'm going to be able to make videos for them. I haven't yet gotten Star Wars Battlefront or Rainbow Six Siege like I planned on getting in a video I made like a couple weeks ago, but I still probably will be getting those. But I don't know, I'm still sort of on edge. I don't know if I should get them, so I'll have to see what other people say about them. Now, we're seeing here in the gameplay, it's actually of Halo 5, and this game I'm actually pretty impressed with. Like, I wasn't originally planning on getting this, but I'm game sharing with my brother and he got it, and so that means I'll be able to play it, and I'll actually be going over what game sharing is in a question later in this video. But I downloaded it because why not, and I'm actually pretty impressed. Like, the only Halo I've ever played, I've technically played Halo Combat Evolved, which was the first one, and Halo Reach, but the only one I actually played was Halo Reach, and Halo Reach was sort of fun. Like all I was able to play was the campaign, because at that time I didn't have Xbox Live Gold. I didn't even know what that was, and so all I really played was the campaign, and I thought the campaign was pretty fun for Halo Reach. It was pretty cool. I never really got into Halo after that, just because, again, there wasn't really any grabbing thing. I didn't know much about the game. Apparently there was a Forge mode in that game that I didn't even know about, but this game I didn't really have high expectations for it, to be honest. I thought it was just going to be another Halo game, and considering I play Call of Duty most of the time, most Call of Duty game isn't super innovative. It's mostly just new maps, new guns. Not saying that every Call of Duty game is the same, just I'm saying that most of the Call of Duty games are similar in style, so I wasn't expecting much from Halo 5. I thought it'd just be the same thing as Halo Reach, but it's actually pretty fun. Like, I've been playing the campaign, I'm only about halfway through it, and it's enjoyable. It's not, like, I don't think it's as good as Halo Reach, but it's definitely an enjoyable campaign. And I've also been playing the multiplayer quite a bit. I really like the Warzone mode, and overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I only have a couple gripes, which I'll quickly be going over before I start getting into the questions. But I'm actually pretty impressed. There's a lot of stuff to do in the game. Like, there's a campaign, obviously. There's multiplayer, as well as there's Forge mode, which I completely forgot about. I didn't remember that existed. And I've been helping my friend make this Forge map. It's gonna be like a racing map. And I've also met some people who have a bunch of different Forge maps, and it's been a lot of fun. Like, there's one parkour map that you can, like, just use your different movements in Halo to try to complete, and it's a lot of fun and really challenging. There are racing maps. There's a duck hunt map, which if you add me as a friend as Xbox, it's FunkierManX935. You can invite me to a party sometime, and I have the custom games bookmarked, and so we'll be able to play them if you have them. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I think the whole Forge mode's kind of cool. I'm probably going to be getting into that, building some of my own worlds, as well as helping my friends with them. And yeah, there's a lot this game has to offer. Couple gripes though, couple gripes. The game does have a bit of a learning curve, but once you learn it, I think it's actually kind of a cool system. But I think probably my biggest gripe is just that I feel like a lot of the movements in the game, like the new movements they have, are sort of gimmicky. And again, this is just my opinion. You might think they're really useful, but things like the Spartan Charge and like the Ground Pound, I've used very few times. You'll see me use the Spartan Charge a couple times throughout the gameplay, but it's overall not that practical, and I'm better off just shooting the enemy and meleeing him. And even the boost, when you hit B and like boost, it's not super useful. It'll help you travel a bit faster, but I never really found it help me get out of gunfights. And so yeah, I just think those 3 movement abilities just don't really need to be in the game. They don't really add much. Like, I don't think I've ever, actually no, I take it back. I've used the ground pound thing once, and it was actually kind of cool the way I used it. I don't have the clip because unfortunately I didn't have my game recording software open, but I ground pounded just randomly, and I ended up hitting a ghost, and I killed the guy in the ghost, and I was able to take his ghost, and that was pretty cool. But that's the only time I've used it. I've only used it once out of like the hours I've put into this game, and so it's not really that useful. I just feel like it's sort of gimmicky. It really doesn't need to be in there. But speaking of which, as I was talking about that, I remember there's actually a theater mode from this game, another feature this game has, which is really cool because there's just a lot of stuff in this game. Like I said, it's I don't think it's called theater mode, but it's like called theater or something, and it's just like the Call of Duty theater mode where you can like spectate like your game, like look at other people's point of views, and it's really cool. So I might actually go back and get that clip I mentioned about me ground slamming the ghost, and I might put it in this video if there's time. I might not though, because it was a while ago and I might not even be able to find the game. But if I do, I will put it in, and if not, like if you don't see it, then it's because I couldn't find it. But anyway, my second gripe about the game, which isn't quite as big, but it feels like Warzone is never like, it's always kind of one-sided. It's never really like a balanced game mode, which is sort of what I like about Call of Duty game modes. Like domination, oftentimes it'll be a really close game just between the two teams. It's like a tug of war. But in Warzone, it's usually one-sided. Not all the time, because all the time's the definitive answer, and I don't really want to say that, because then if there's one time where it's a close game, people will be like, oh, you see, it's one time. No, but anyway, yeah, the Warzone is a lot of times it's one-sided. So either we're doing really good and we're like spawn trapping them in their base, and it's just a lot of fun, or it's the opposite and they're spawn trapping us in our base. But it's still fun, which is one thing I really like about Warzone. Even if we're getting spawn trapped, I can still have a lot of fun, even though like in Call of Duty, if you're getting spawn trapped, it's no fun. You might as well just back out. But in this game, like, you can still easily get a flank on an enemy, be spawn in a vehicle, take some of them out. It's still really fun even if you're getting spawn trapped, which is why I really like Warzone mode. I think they did a really good job with it overall. And this is kind of funny, the arena mode with all the Slayer and stuff, all the classic modes, I really liked in Halo Reach. But again, I didn't have Xbox Live Gold, so I couldn't play online, so I just played with my brother on a local game. But with all those modes, I remember the first time I loaded in, it said arena, and it had something about like if you back out, there's gonna be like a penalty or something. So I thought it was sort of like ranked play from like Call of Duty, where like it's like the try hard sweaty mode. And so I didn't play that for the longest time. So I've been playing so much Warzone, that's what it's called. And I just found out that you could play all those arena modes, and it's not like a super competitive try-hard sweaty mode. And so I've been having a lot of fun with those modes too. So yeah, there's just a lot this game has to offer. I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm definitely going to be keeping it and playing a lot more with it. I really enjoy it. I definitely recommend you guys pick it up. It's probably going to be more enjoyable than Star Wars Battlefront or Rainbow Six Siege. But again, I didn't even really have to pay for it because I'm game sharing with my brother, which again I'll go over later. I'm talking kind of fast, but I want to get to the questions as quick as I can. And so that's really all I wanted to say. Halo 5, a lot of fun. Definitely recommend getting it. And let's move on to the first question. We have Future of 316. He asked, this Christmas I went with my family to Michigan to visit my uncle, and being from Arizona, the weather was shockingly cold. My question is, how was your holiday, and did you travel anywhere? So my holiday was great, thanks for asking. I heard you went to Michigan, and you're from Arizona, which I can imagine how cold it must be, especially from a transition from usually hot weather to very, very cold temperatures. So yeah, that must have sucked for you. But my holiday was good. I had a lot of fun. My favorite part about holidays is always the family coming over, because we don't see them super often. I mean, most of them live locally in San Diego, but they all have their own stuff going on with their lives, so I don't get to see them that often. So when they're all there at once, it's just a lot of fun for Christmas. And then I did travel, but it was 2 days after Christmas, so I didn't travel for Christmas. I don't think I've ever traveled for Christmas, just because I like staying home for Christmas with all the family again. Because there's only one family member that doesn't live in our like vicinity, and they live in like Georgia, and so we go visit them occasionally, but they actually visit their kid, who actually is in London. So our family's kind of spread out all across the world, but most of us are located in California, near each other. And so I actually did travel to Santa Barbara. It was a lot of fun. You might have seen on my Instagram, I posted a picture from the Santa Barbara Zoo, and it was just a funny thing. It looked like the picture of Juggernog. But yeah, if you want to check me out on Instagram, it's instagram.com/OnePatrickGames if you want to keep up to date with that stuff. And we actually have a question about social media, which is in a couple questions, and we'll get to that. But yeah, I traveled to Santa Barbara. It was actually pretty fun. It's a really nice city. I definitely recommend you check it out if you get the time. We went to the courthouse, and they have this big like balcony you can go up on and look all across the city. You can see the ocean and stuff. It's pretty cool. We also went to the Santa Barbara Zoo, and it's not as good as the zoo from my local area, but it's still really cool. I'm surprised they did a pretty good job with it considering it's not really that big, and I really enjoyed going to the zoo. I got a couple of souvenirs, and it was pretty cool. Santa Barbara's a nice city. So yeah, that was my holiday. It was pretty fun. We had a lot of stuff going on, but yeah, let's get to the next question. We have Shadowstopper, and he asks, which is better, The Giant or Shadows of Evil? So, in my opinion, again, this is just my opinion, you guys obviously can think better, and I don't think one of these maps is a bad map. In fact, I actually quite like both of them, but I think Shadows of Evil is just a bit better of a map, just because The Giant, I really like it, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it can sometimes get sort of boring. Just sort of boring, because I'm not really a big fan of just sitting on the catwalk and just kind of shooting zombies. I know you don't have to do that, you can train and stuff, which I do like training, that's pretty fun, but I feel like Shadows of Evil was more fun because there's just more stuff to do, and it feels like you're doing an Easter egg every single round, which I just like that feeling of accomplishment every time you complete a ritual, and then you get back a punch, and then you just keep going. So overall, I have the most fun times with Shadows of Evil, but I do really like The Giant. I think both maps were just expertly designed. They're just amazing by Treyarch, and I can't wait for Horizon Drop, which is going to be the next map in the next DLC pack, and yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Next we have Chocolate Penguin 44, who asks, are you thinking of making other forms of social media platforms? So this is the question I was talking about earlier about social media, and my answer to it is I don't think I will be making like a Twitter or anything for just a while, because I don't really feel like I need a Twitter. In fact, I don't even really feel like I need an Instagram. I just wanted some sort of thing where I could just post an update just saying, hey, I'm working on so-and-so video. I just felt like I needed one thing, and so I chose Instagram, and I don't really feel like I need a Twitter yet. I might, if my channel kind of gets a little bit bigger, I might need a Twitter to like manage everything you guys want to send me, but until then, I won't be getting a Twitter, because part of the reason is because I remember when I used to watch like a bunch of YouTube videos, people always say, oh, follow me on Twitter and you get all these benefits, like I'll treat you whenever deals are going on or whatever, and I never had a Twitter, so I sort of felt left out. So I want to keep the comments centralized in the comment section, so anyone can kind of just say what they want. They don't have to have a Twitter account, they don't have to follow me on Twitter. And again, with Instagram, I don't really, like, you don't really have to follow me. I don't really, it just sort of something you, if you want to check out to see like what I'm working on, but it's not anything you need to check out if you want to like get on some exclusive deal or whatever, which is why I'm probably not going to make a Twitter account for a while. As long as my channel stays like it is, I probably won't be making Twitter. For the next and final question, we have Charger Drive, who asked, with my Christmas money this year, I'm not sure if I should buy a physical or digital game. My question is, how many physical games do you have, and which kind do you recommend buying? So I actually have, let me count, I have them right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 digital games, and they're Battlefield Hardline, Battlefield 4, Destiny, Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and Call of Duty Ghost. Those are the only games I have on physical copies. All the other games that I have on digital copies, and it depends on what you are going to do with those games. And like I was talking about earlier with game sharing, pretty much what game sharing is, if you're not game sharing already, you can only do it with one person, so pick someone you trust, and I'm doing it with my brother, so he's obviously someone I trust. He's not going to go abuse my account information or anything. But what you do is you go to, you don't even have to go to his house, you can just like text the person your account information or whatever, and they'll just sign into your account on his Xbox, and so once they're signed in, they go into settings and go to like my Xbox, and then they set it to my home Xbox, and then the other person does the same thing, and pretty much what that does is it makes it so every game that I have he can download, and every game that he has I can download. And so it's just kind of cool, but that only works for digital games, not physical copies, which is why I've recently been buying more digital games as opposed to physical copies, just because then 2 people will get it for the price of 1. And so I recommend getting digital copies if you're gonna game share with someone. If not, then I definitely recommend getting physical copies, just because if you ever decide to get a new console or something, it'll be easier to sell a physical copy as opposed to a digital copy. In fact, I don't think it's even possible really to sell a digital copy, so I recommend buying physical copies if you're not game sharing. But if you do have someone you want to game share with who does have like a good amount of digital games that you guys can share, then I recommend game sharing, getting digital copies, because it's always better to have 2 for the price of 1 than 1 for the price of possibly getting a refund. So yeah guys, that's gonna do it for this episode. If you guys want to leave a question, just comment below or send me a private message if you want it to be private, and leave a like if you enjoyed. I'm excited for doing more of these episodes. I know this isn't on Tuesday where it usually is, but I'll be trying to get back on schedule. Just again, it's been pretty crazy this holiday season, and other than that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.